2025 NCAA Championships, what motivated you personally to call that team-only meeting, and what did you feel needed to change moving forward?
Yeah, so I think definitely after last season, sitting in the stands, not making the Final Four was definitely a big upset for us. We had trained all season so hard that was our opportunity, and we just fell a little bit short. But after this season was done and we had a flight home, the returners decided to come together and call a team meeting that we were going to put some things in place following the next year to become stronger and come back better. So I think we all sat down and planned a date to have a meeting. And I was just sitting home and I was thinking, and I remembered Tim Tebow's promise that he had made after they had a similar situation where they had fell short of their goal. So I went back and watched a couple videos online, and I thought it resonated very well with our team that moving forward, it kind of aligned with what we wanted to bring to this season. So I think I kind of wrote it all down on Google Docs, and when we had that team meeting, I brought it up, and we had talked about it for a couple of days, and everyone was in agreement with it and loved the idea. So yeah, I think that's kind of where it all began for me, and I think it was a very good step in the process to what we're creating this year.
As a junior, how have you grown as a leader both on and off the floor compared to earlier in your career?
I think coming to college, definitely being in club, it's a very individualized sport at the time, and then you come to college and it's a team-oriented sport. So being in club before college, it was very much leading by example, because you show all the little kids how hard you work in the gym and every day, but you don't get to communicate as much with them. But coming to college, you look up to your upperclassmen, but you also have to have that communication with them to be able to lead them by example and by communication. So I think just growing up in the college world, following the leaders before me, I think I just create a very safe space where I want people to be able to come up to me if they need help in any aspect of college, because it is a very hard thing to go through sometimes, and if you don't have that support above you, it can be challenging.
You kind of touched on the promise and what it represents to this team, but how was it developed during the preseason retreat?
Yeah, so I think we had a bunch of Google Docs laid out, and we had talked about it through summer, and then we knew the team retreat was coming up, so that's where we really got to sit down, be together in a house for 3 days straight, and bring all of our ideas into one sheet. So I think we all sat down one night. We had a bunch of different activities going on, but that was our main focus. So we all sat down, collaborated, no coaches, literally just the team, so we could all bond together and talk about each aspect of what we wanted to include, and we kind of rearranged it into our own words. So we recreated, the title is still The Promise, because it still leads off of Tim Tebow's thing, but the whole promise is rearranged in our words and our motto that we want to live by for this season.
With Florida opening at number 3, how does the team balance high expectations with staying focused on daily improvement?
Coming to the University of Florida is definitely always high expectations, high standards, but our big motto for this year is definitely to stay present in the moment. I think there's always going to be rankings out there, expectations for your team, but just taking it one step at a time, staying true to the process, and just taking it day by day, meet by meet, is something that we will hold ourselves very high to a high standard this year, so we're able to make it to the end and achieve what we want.
All right, that's the end of the alligator questions.
Just talk about, with the promise and having the retreat, do you guys think that team chemistry was maybe lower last season looking back than it should have been? What was the reason for, you still go to the Elite Eight last year, obviously.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad season, but just shaking things up heading into this season.
Yeah, I definitely think last season it kind of sparked something in us to start so early in the year. I think last season maybe the chemistry was definitely there, but we are so tight and we love each other so much. It's like a family this year, and we just feel connected as one. We do so much together this year that I think maybe we didn't start that as early last year, so it was a little bit more challenging to create that bond. So I think that's why we wanted to start literally the night we finished Elite Eight last year, that we sat down together and we're going to start right now creating this bond, bring the freshmen in when they come, and we're not going to stop.
So you guys did you guys literally stay there for the evening session last year to see, even though the season's already been over, you guys just wanted to kind of feel the pain of not making it?
Yeah, so we weren't anticipating not making it. So I think our flight home was already arranged Sunday morning. So when that had happened, we were like, you know what, I guess the coaches decided for us to stay. Went back and we sat in the stands to watch the next session, the Final Four, which was really hard for us to do. I never expected it to be that hard. So, but I think it also really lit a fire under us. I think it was a good thing to be able to sit there and watch. I think if we didn't sit there and watch, it wouldn't have been as motivating for us. So I think it was definitely a good thing that we did sit there and watch it.
And then just this season, 3 of the first four meets being at home, so you guys would rather be here. In establishing good momentum for the season, talk about how crucial that is, that you guys get a lot of time here to start the season.
Yeah, I think it's so good. It brings the energy, it brings the fan, it brings the hype to the O-Dome. I think it fuels the fire for us because we get to be in our home arena with our home fans for us, and we also get to sleep in our own beds at night, so that's really fun to do.
In reading that sign, it says you want to embrace the hard. What is the hard in your view?
I think just like, throughout season there's going to be highs, there's going to be lows. There are going to be the really good days, there are going to be the hard days where you wake up and you're tired, but just walking in every day and seeing that promise, knowing you're doing this for your team has your back, and they will always challenge you to be the best person you could be, is embracing the hard, is not letting the hard days get to you and pushing forward in those moments, because that's what makes you the best.
And when and where was this retreat? Like right after the season?
No, this retreat was beginning of September, maybe end of August.
Okay.
We went to Clearwater Beach, Florida. So we had like a house. We stayed for like the weekend. We did a beach workout. It was a lot of team bonding activities.
Gotcha. You said there was no coaches there? It was just the...
When we talked about the promise as a team, we did it just the team. The coaches like left and like maybe went down the street for a couple minutes, but they were at the retreat with us, yes.
They had to drive them there.
Yeah, they did.
True, yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
This team has a pretty wide spread of transfers mixed with veterans and then underclassmen as well. Where do you find yourself in that, and how special is that? What does that bring to a team?
Yeah. Our freshmen coming in are amazing. They are so loving, kind. Like, they were just the best addition that this team could have had. And especially the transfers, MJ, we trained together in club, so it's a full circle moment for her senior year for us to be back training together. But I think this team just brings so much talent, so much energy, and so much grace for each other. Like, we're in the gym, we know every one of us has each other's backs, and we're just doing it for each other. So this team together is going to be unstoppable.
Is it strange not to have Leanne around this year?
Yeah, she always comes in the gym,
That's
and
true,
you'll
yeah.
see her training every once in a while. She'll be around with us, like competing and stuff. So she's still in the gym, and she's still with us. So,
What was the reason for the promise for getting it printed and putting it on the wall instead of just like, I mean, I know, but how important, I guess, was that to have it physically there instead of just in your guys' head mentally?
yeah, I think it was a very crucial thing to have literally in front of us when we walk in the gym every day, because it just brings that reminder, like, this is what we are working so hard for. We started this in the beginning of the year, and we're not going to stop till we reach our end goal. And just like if you wake up and you're walking in, something's hurting, and you just see it, it gives you a reminder, like, oh, I'm going to do this for my team, for the people behind me, and I'm going to push forward and strive to be my best today in practice because I know the end goal.
When you finally watched that TiVo video, what resonated the most with you seeing that?
We've watched it so many times now since we started that, but I think definitely like the phrase of like, you'll never see a team work harder than we will. I think from the moment we stepped back in the summer, each and every one of us knew we had this fire under us and this drive to get where we want to do this year. So I think that part of the phrase really stood out, and that's what we do every day in here.
Obviously, you're not from Florida. Is the TiVo video something you were familiar with before you got here? Or was it kind of just something you've embraced now as a Gator?
I think as a freshman, I started to pick up on it because I think I've heard it a couple times. But before I came to college, I didn't know what it was. I didn't really watch college football, so I didn't really know what that was. But yeah.
Just so much of talk around this team is having a healthy Sky and Kayla. Just what is that going to add to the hopes that you guys have?
Oh my God, yeah. They bring so much depth, consistency, everything to the table. Their support, their energy, all the above, all the around. So even if they need to rest for one weekend, they'll still bring that high energy to help everybody else around them. And when they're 4 for 4, they are on fire. They're unstoppable.
With your role, so obviously you're someone who's gotten time since her freshman year. What kind of is different for you heading into the season? Again, you guys have a lot of depth. What have you changed personally to make sure that you're still getting time, competition time this season?
Yeah, I think coming off last year, I was dealing with an injury, so I wasn't able to compete as much. But being able to come back, I feel stronger than ever. So I think just being able to do all 4 events, train all 4 events, and be able to be that consistent athlete for this team is something that I'll take into this season.
You guys open in 3 days. I mean, what's the kind of the mindset right now?
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to be out there all in front of all those fans. Like, it's so surreal. We had Hype Night a couple weeks ago, and it just really brought back all the memories that I can't wait to make again this year, especially with this outstanding team.